So now we're looking at a sum of cubes. We're looking at factoring sums and differences of cubes. And again, the most difficult part and the reason why practice is so important with factoring is that one of the most difficult parts is on the quiz and then later on the exam. We have to recognize what pattern it is that we need to factor. And in this instance, we are looking at a sum of cubes, but we need to be able to recognize that. We need to be able to recognize when we have a perfect square trinomial, when we have a difference of squares, when we have a sum or a difference of cubes. And even when they're more complicated, we need to be able to recognize that. So while practice may not make perfect, it does get us as close as possible as we can get to perfect. Now that said, right now we're looking at a sum of cubes, and we know that. And remember that that form is a cubed plus b cubed equals a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. So just remember, when it's a sum of cubes, that minus sign, the only place we're going to see it is inside the trinomial at the very end. So verify first that we have a sum of cubes. X cubed, obviously that's a cube. It's x being cubed. 27, that is 3 cubed. So this equals x cubed plus 3 cubed. So now we have a cubed plus b cubed, and we just divide it up into what that equals, a plus b times a squared. In this case, our a equals x, and our b equals 3. So we just substitute into that form. We have x plus 3 times x squared minus a times b is going to be 3x plus b squared. In this case, b is 3, so that's going to be plus 9. Now, one thing we do need to look out for is if our trinomial that we're left with factors even further. In this case, it doesn't, because there are no two negative numbers, and we know that they would be negative because we have a positive being added and a middle term that's being subtracted. There are no two negative numbers that multiply to 9 that add up to negative 3. So all we have left now is to check, and we do that by multiplying our factors together. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 9. We want to multiply that by x plus 3. That ends up being 27 minus 9x. X squared times 3 is 3x squared. And then 9x and minus 3x squared. And x squared times x is x cubed. We add those together. These cancel, and we're left with x cubed plus 27, which does verify our solution that x cubed plus 27 factored is x plus 3 times x squared minus 3x plus 9.